Hello! Can you guys hear and see me all right? Does this work? Squeak, squeak. Oh, cool. Great. Sorry, I'm making a lot of chair noises. So, hi everyone. I see that people are already scrolling past top of the window, but Rhiannon and Abby and Paolo and Rashida, Victoria, Sherry, Katie, Mickey, Otto, Heather. Hi guys. All right. Otto, did you see the mug I'm using? I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So it's an Otto mug with Otto tea in it. It's the Pickwick tea in there. Just gonna grab them. There we go. I hope I say your name right, Paulo. Yeah, I'm so glad the mug got here in one piece. It always makes me happy. With the quote in there, it's written, "Are you kidding me?" in it, which I think it's quite hilarious. Yeah, Paulo, your name in French is Polo, and yeah, so I don't. I hope I'm not like messing it up by saying Paulo. Rhiannon, huh? Cool. Hey, Anthony. Okay, so just to quickly explain what I want to do today. Recently, Otto and I, we put together our paint forces, and we sort of did a trade of Daniel Smith colors we didn't have. Like, I sent her colors that she didn't have, and she sent me colors that I didn't have. So with this sort of selection of new colors, I was able to fill in this palette, and I decided to reshuffle some colors around because it was at a point where it didn't make a lot of sense. I'll see if I can find my previous swatch. Where is it? I was looking at it earlier. Where is it? Huh. It's always the same thing. You start with something and then you immediately forget where it is. So that's basically what happened. But I'm gonna sum it up. I had painted a chart previously that had an overlay layer of vellum, but where I had space left over in my palettes, I would just put in whatever new color I got. So you would have like all the oranges and then a green color, like random in there. So I let that pass for a couple of colors, but at some point it got annoying. And then with the new colors that Otto sent me, I was able to complete certain families of paint, like the perylene and the quinacridone. I gotta have most of them by now. I cannot believe that there is more than 13 colors in the quinacridone range. So yeah, and the lunar colors and the phthalo colors. So instead of having them by hue, I have them by family, and I will see if this kind of layout is working for me or not. But that meant that I had to redo the charts. So what I did is, since this palette, okay, hold on, let me get set somewhat. What what is that? Okay. That should be better. Okay, so this palette. Hi Denise! Oh, I'm sorry. My timing is bad. Hi Geckonia. Hi Temple and Nikki. And Samantha. And I'm sorry if I don't see your name pass by, but yeah. Hi everyone. So this palette, this is just a box. I don't remember what it's for. It could be for like just paper or scrapbooking paper, but it's just a plastic box. It's not too thick. And inside I have 2 inserts from a 48 pan palette that I just removed the, you know, the middle box, because that was annoying. Like when you want to have all your colors, you have all the lids taking up space, and I was like, ah. So I just kept the trays, and I got 2 of them. And since I don't like cramming colors together to fit in more pan, like I don't like when my food touch. You know, there's some things like that. So I just have, this is just a sheet of sturdy plastic that I got from some packaging, and I put sticky tape on it, and I can put other colors, but I was considering perhaps getting a third insert like this that I could possibly lay on top, maybe a 4th one as well. But because I think that's still, yeah, the box still closes, so I could possibly fit a lot of colors in there, like almost 200. So yeah. Oh, Denise, I hope you feel better soon. Yikes. Hi, Palmyra. So yeah, so that's basically the setup of this box. It's just something I MacGyvered together because I was really annoyed at having like many metal tins, and I was like, I want a way to have these color accessible, but not in a way that demands a lot of space. And even this palette is kind of big, so when I want to use it, I bring in a portable table that I set to the side, and I just placed that over there because my desk is not super big. So okay, so that's the palette part, and then for the swatching part. So this is, yeah, cool. This is just this one I think is weird 200 GSM. So it's not 90 pounds, but it's not much above 90 pounds. It still goes through the printer. So I just did this. I hope I didn't do it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So basically I have 12 colors on each row. So I printed 1 sheet per tray. And I will use one of the scraps for the lunar colors for now. And yeah, so I made this a bit bigger than what before I would have both trays on the same sheet, so it would be really small swatches, but I think that this way I can avoid having a vellum overlay with the names. I can just write the name at the bottom of these. So yeah. Is there any question? If you want to send in a question, please write question in caps before your question, like question in all caps and then your question normally, so that I can spot them more easy in the chat. Oh no, sorry Otto. Oh, it's really sad when people are sick. I'm not. So I'm just gonna grab a pencil. Then I'm going to drop the pencil. Question: what colors do you want to add to your collection? Daniel Smith, for now, none. I have some more Daniel Smith even. I have like the Primatex and some other colors in other palettes still. But a great many of them comes from trading with other people, so yeah. Oh, thanks, Denise. What do you think of Daniel Smith watercolors? I like them. That'd be pretty, that would be problematic if I didn't like them, considering I have quite a lot of them by now. Oh, and I still need to fill in these 3 gaps. These might not be super duper dry. Is it gonna be on my finger? Yeah, these are super soft still, but yeah, I'm gonna put them in there. This is not the one I thought. This is full of cat hair. Beko. This is Perylene Red, which needed to be panned. And I'm setting it next to the other Perylenes here, over here. And there's also Indian Yellow that's gonna just go over here randomly. And Anthraquinone Red. I think they are next to Indigo, so it's kind of a nice triad over there. Okay, yikes. Cool, no paints on my finger. Okay. Favorite family. What kind of family are we talking about? I will try to swatch slow, Denise. I hope it goes well. Which Daniel Smith colors would you recommend for special effects to supplement a more normal palette? Like Moonglow and the Primatech. Ones that would be workhorse special colors. I really like Soda Light Genuine. I like Sodalite. Kyanite is pretty awesome. It's really sparkly, but it's in super nice blue. I love a Mezzanite if you like turquoisey colors. The lunar colors are pretty good as well for like super granulation. Oh yeah, sure, Val. But these are not all Primatics. I got like some regular here. I have some more opaque colors from Daniel Smith, and this one I think is like my only Lucas color. Purpurite Genuine is a really lovely color. It is such a nice purple. Cascade Green, Moonglow, Shadow Violet. Rose of Ultramarine and Imperial Purple are all great FX colors. It really depends on what's your... I think that with extra colors like that, you can really go with what's your favorite color in general. Like, if you really don't like green, well, don't start with Cascade Green, but if you really don't like purple, well, don't start with Rose of Ultramarine or Imperial Purple. Okay. Question, I'm watching your early videos and you recommended the French brand. I recommend whatever brand is more accessible to you. Like, some people don't have access to Daniel Smith or they cost an arm and a leg, so it's a bit prohibitive. And I would say if any of the professional brands are available to you, go for that. Go for the one that's available to you. So yeah, if Sennelier is easy access to you, well, try Sennelier. And if it's M. Graham, try M. Graham. And if Daniel Smith is super affordable for you, yeah, sure, go get Daniel Smith. These are all good brands. Like it's easier to say what is not recommended than what is recommended. Oh, hi, Cyan. What is dinner, Paulo? Hi, Dan. Question. Other watercolor brands. My favorite other watercolor brands? Like I was saying, I don't really have any favorites because as long as the paint works well, I don't mind. Like I'm gonna be able to work with anything. I just need paints that pack a lot of color. I don't like paints that are necessarily all muted. I want a color that I can lay on super intense, but also like really soft if I need to. Yeah, that's the thing. If you are in Europe, you're gonna get access to Talens and Rembrandt and Winsor Newton and Sennelier, perhaps at a better price than you would here. And other countries have like White Knights or Renaissance that are great paints. And I don't think you should strain your budget to get a specific color that is not available to you when you have... Oh, sorry, that's the crazy guy outside. Oh, I love this guy, he's so insane. He's just outside yelling, and he walks a nearby road like almost every day, and he yells random stuff super angrily. But yeah, he makes me laugh. Like, poor guy, there's definitely something not quite in the right place, but he's relatively harmless. He's more funny. Oh, I didn't quite catch it, but he likes to yell Cyrano a lot. Like Cyrano de Bergerac. Cyrano de Bergerac, I think, the guy with the nose. Okay, so where was I before dude outside interrupted me? So yeah, basically, depending on where you're at, you're not gonna get access to the same stuff. Did I miss one? Oh, I missed one. Of course I did. Oh, good job, girl. Yay. Oh, crud. Nope. Oh. This won't do. It's not good. I'm gonna have to print another one. All the pans are labeled on the short side, so I can see their name. Okay, let's try this again. Oh no, cyan. Oh. Yeah, Dan's ultramarine blue is the best. Okay, so what is the color I missed? New Gamboge. Darn it, New Gamboge. Okay, good. Oh, tuna pizza, wow. That sounds fancy. Did you make the dough yourself? Okay, Pearl Scarlet. Pearl, it's Pyrrol. I need to stop saying Pyrrol. Oh, of course, and the sauce. Just didn't catch the tuna. It is Pyrrol, apparently. Like, I was talking to someone from Golden, and they were pretty adamant that it was Pyrrol instead of Pyrrol. Ah, gosh. Oh, it's Bordeaux, which will forever be Otto's color for me. I've seen it written both way, like P. Y is the for some reason I don't remember what is this letter in English, but it's either with the E or without the E at the end. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see how this order looks once it swatches as well. Like, is it pure nonsense or is there some kind of beauty to it? Yeah, Bordeaux sounds so fancy. Bordeaux and Chartreuse are both alcohols. Okay, now the other way. Oh, we are starting on the Quinn colors. Yep, like I had to put these three over here because they were overflow. So I have 15 colors in the quinacridone family, which is insane. That's a lot of brilliant colors. Problem is that I tend to write a bit low on the tags, so it's hard to see what is what. And I'm sadly gonna have to reprint one of these if I ever finish this one. I don't know, kitties are asleep. finally asleep. It's a bit trickier to remember about the queen colors because they're all basically the same color. I mean, in terms of when you look at the dry paint, because actually they are really not the same color when you paint with them. Yikes, I hate doing that. Question: have you used Daniel Smith Potter's Pink, and if so, did you find the texture consistency weird? The two tubes I have are very hard to paint with. I haven't tried them because I had heard that in general Potter's Pink is hard to re-wet. So the Potter's Pink I tend to use is the one I made myself because I was able to make it much easier to re-wet. So yeah, I really love it as a color, but I don't like paints that are way too much work. I think if you have it, the best is to keep it in the tube and use it fresh every time you need it. Not have it dry on a palette or a pan. But aside from that, I have not a lot of experience with it. It's a pretty color. I saw it on the swatch sheet, but that's basically all I can say. I saw someone asking if Bordeaux was worth it. It really depends if you like the color or not. Hi Grace! If you like the color and it's a color you think you're gonna use, well, it's worth it. Yeah, I'm so sorry Grace, I haven't gotten to testing out all the really neat stuff you sent me. I have a kind of a long list of stuff to do, and it bothers me that I cannot go through this faster. Maybe it is Gérard Depardieu who has gone really bad. Yeah, Potter's Pink is one of those, I think the pigment is a bit heavier, so that's why it tends to separate from its binder. It's a pretty color, but it's also pretty annoying. Okay, I have Rare Green Earth, and it's not on my palette because of that reason. And I have Viridian on my palette, but it's really not the great color to have in a dry state because it dries into a lumpy little hard cake that will not stick at the bottom of anything. Parker's Gren. Yeah, sure, why not? What is this one? Yeah, green. Okay, I can do this. Almost at the end. Alright, swatching time. I'm just gonna grab, yeah, this one. It's One Stroke by Winsor Newton Cotman in 10 millimeters synthetic brush. Cool. I think to the person, to Rhiannon who's asking about Tholite, Dan has made a paint with it. It's kind of confusing to have Daniel Smith and Dan in the same conversations a lot. Oh, thank you, Grace. I'm glad you took the time to read it. Yay. Yeah, Jackson's have the... Are you talking about the... Oh yeah, the semi-precious stones one. They have opalite, porphyry, and lapis lazuli. I really wish I could afford them. Like I could maybe get one of them, but then again, I'm like, these are so much work, and then they will be gone. And oh yeah, the Cutman brushes are great, and the Cutman palettes are great. Like, I really love these palettes. These palettes are awesome, but the paints, not so much. So that's why this palette is completely empty. I just don't like the paints. I really try to like them, but it's not working. So I think if I do it that way, I'm limiting the chances of confusing myself. So I'm gonna start with the first color being nickel titanate yellow. I am not really interested in having the pigments on this sheet because I can refer to my swatch book for that. Transparency is not really relevant either. I just want to know what the colors are, and I must not dip my brush in my tea. I'm gonna drink some of that tea. Kramer sells oh, hi Patricia. Oh, I'm glad you liked the live stream from yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, sticker on the name. I did that with my Jane Davenport colors. Well, the tins. Like, I'm reporting that all the Jane Davenport palettes are empty or filled with something else, and I've properly put stickers on top to hide the Jane Davenport logo. So, yep. No, I was not watching the chat during the live stream. It was too weird to set up for me, so I was mostly trying to look at the camera so it would look like I'm watching Steve and Marty and you guys, but yeah. I read the chat afterwards though, and I'm truly blessed with this community being full of such great people, because you were all super nice to me and to my noggin. First ever reveal on YouTube of my face. So yeah, that was really great to read, and I'm super appreciative of it all. Seriously. I saw the demands for cats, but both cats were either annoying, you know, to the point of, like, Pico was scratching at the door, but if I were to open the door, like when I got up to open the door, she ran away so fast she was halfway across the place. So it was impossible to grab any cats, and Scout was on Mr. E's lap. soaking up some warmth. Okay, so we had nickel tight knit yellow, lemon yellow, Hansa yellow light. Okay, now I'm Hansa yellow med. So I put all the three Hansa colors together. And then Hansa yellow deep. I keep calling the deep colors derp in my head. Makes me laugh. Simple pleasures, guys. Yeah, I am a redhead. Like I draw the cat like an orange cat. So yeah. The words are not really working today. No, they got a good workout yesterday. I'm so glad I don't think I tripped in too many words during the live yesterday, which was kind of my fear, that I would be tripping in my words and not be able to find the words I want to say. I am supposed to make a new batch of handmade potter's pink soon, so like I don't want to toot my own horn, but truly my goal was to make a potter's pink that was easy to re-wet, and I managed to do it. So if I make a batch and you can grab one, if you like potter's pink, that might be a good way to get one that is easy to re-wet. And I will not put these for sale if they are not easy to re-wet. That's really important for me to put some good stuff out there. Ah, this is such a pretty color. Okay, so yeah, Hansa yellow light, Hansa yellow med, Hansa yellow deep, new gamboge. This is the old formula of new gamboge that is made with a single pigment, because I bought this tube many years ago and I still have it. So yeah, Aussie red gold. Then we have Pyrenone orange. Aw, thanks guys. But I told myself that, like, because I hadn't revealed, it's not really revealing the thing, but I didn't want to show my face before because I don't feel it was relevant to what I'm doing, which is paint stuff. And then they asked me for the interview, and I was like, do I have to show my face for it? And they said, well, we can figure it out if you don't want to, but I think it would be more fun if your face was, live. And I was like, that's a good point. But I was like, do I want to? And then I told myself that it's really no different than taking the bus or the subway, except that instead of a subway full of strangers, it's a subway full of friends. And that really took the pressure off. And I was like, well, truly, if they don't like the way I look, they are not really worth my time. Like, no, you don't have to love the way I look. I don't myself, but I'm just a person. Like, there's nothing special. I don't have a third eye in the middle of my face. There's nothing weird going on. So I figured that it was just, that I need to get over myself and just do it. And I felt like with Marty and Steve and you guys, I was in good company to do so. So yeah. Yeah, this is my sort of my working / illustration palette of Daniel Smith. Well, this is half of it, and then I have the other half on the side. Yeah, the first row has a decent gradient, but you might not like the rest of it. Yeah. Yeah, subway full of friends. I mean, if anything, the subway I take regularly here in Montreal is full of really odd, and some people are really aggressive on the subway sometimes. So I figured that if I can survive that, truly showing my face in a live stream with a bunch of friends is really nothing. And friendship is magic, yay! Aw, thanks you guys. Thanks, Dan. You might have to compartment your good vibes. I'm Grace, because just from the like have, oh, this is a good segment, and this is a good segment, and this is a good segment, and try to not see the whole picture, because weird stuff happens, like this opera that really had sort of no connection to any other color, so it ended up being in wherever I had one spot left. Aw, guys, you're being so nice. Yeah, I will possibly show my face eventually, but like I said, this is not really relevant for this, and I don't have like a double camera setup that I can use to show you my silly face when I'm painting and making faces. Like, I was sort of warming up my face before the interview, and I was making the worst grimaces possible in the camera and making myself laugh over it. Like, what? This is so weird. Look at your face. I tend to do that when I brush my teeth as well. I make silly faces in the mirror. And I'm kind of surprised that a lot of you guys were like appreciative of me talking about anxiety. Not because how can I say this? I just feel like it's so normal to think to mention it, because it was such a big problem for me, and I sort of solved it, and it really made me feel better. So I don't want anyone to have to suffer through anxiety if they don't have to. Like, if by hearing my experience about it, they realize that that's possibly what is wrong with them and get help, that's absolutely worth it. And I don't see what kind of shame there could be attached to anxiety, because I'm like, it's just a crummy feeling. Like, I am not ashamed. My brain is not working properly, and it gave me way too much anxiety than wasn't necessary. So, like, it's basically saying someone is faulty for having two legs. You're like, well, just legs. So yeah. Oh yeah, live about the comic. Yeah. We were always talking about maybe doing some kind of live stream where the camera is on him, like actually drawing one of the pages, because that's really cool, especially when he inks the page. But we never got around to it because we don't have any kind of platform for the comic. We don't have a Patreon for it. We just have the comic, and it takes up a lot of time. So, but yeah, we had discussed it, and I could man the chat, and Mr. E has a he speaks English, because in Montreal and Quebec you learn English, but he's from France originally, and even if he's lived here most of his life, he still has kind of a weird French accent when he, like, a French from France, not French from Canada. So yeah, so this was all the permanent colors. You have permanent yellow deep, permanent orange, rose madder permanent, permanent violet, and permanent brown. This is why they're together. Yeah, I still pulled a couple of funny faces during the live stream. I was like quickly rewatching it, and I was like, yeah, face. It's really weird. Oh yeah, the anxiety is so weird. Aw, Otto, come on. You live in Scotland, I'm sure you have. Yeah, his name is the Frenchiest name ever too. No, Guillaume. It's the French William. And his family name is Bonnet. Like the hat. There's apparently a lot more Bonnet in France than over here. I keep saying that I have to go to Scotland eventually because I'm going to be the perfect disguise. No one's going to know I'm a tourist. And now I'm going to meet, like, I have the extra incentive of meeting Otto as well if I ever go. So, yeah. Jean-Pierre is quite Frenchy. Yeah, definitely French. Like all these names that have an English equivalent, like Pierre is Peter, and there's a bunch of them that are either very French or have an English equivalent, like Guillaume and William. Oh, your dad's name is Jean-Pierre Malimic. Well, Mickey. That's cool. Is he from France or Acadia? Acadie? Or like where is he from? Okay, so next I have Deep Scarlet, Carmine, and Bordeaux, which are kind of the red colors I had that don't really, ooh, that's pretty, that don't really fit into anything. So I thought, well, they fit together in a way because they don't fit into anything else, and they are red. Valerie is Valérie. It's pretty similar, but there's the second vowel is an E with the accent that way. So it makes the A sound. Oh, Canada. Oh, cool. So, Mickey, are you French Canadian as well, or are you like the English speaking people of Ontario with French names? Oh, pure French mutt. Wow. Granddad was French Canadian, and his name was Frederick. Huh. Steve turns into Etienne for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. There's probably a really etymological reason for it. Yeah. But yeah, so this is gonna be, and there's a Pico hair in there. Come on. Come on. Nope. Darn it. Ah, there we go. I packaged some letters that I need to go mail later, and I am really sorry for everyone who ordered from me because there are cat hairs stuck in the tape of the packaging. I try, but you know, cat hair is what it is. Oh. Well, Mickey, if you come by Montreal, we gotta set up something. Like meet at the cafe or for a meal at a restaurant, and yeah. And he's one with the paint now. Yep. Cat hair is the secret sauce. Oh. What's Jason in French? I am not sure I know. I'm not super knowledgeable in names, but usually Jason, if someone is named Jason here, it's gonna be said the same way, because Jason is not well, it's exactly like a word we use, like a verb. So yeah. Okay, so after the odd one out of Naples Yellow, I have the three quin colors with a yellow kind of tint to them. The poor new Queen Gold looks a lot like Queen Gold Deep in this swatching, and this is the beautiful single pigment Queen Gold. Like, it's super beautiful, but if it didn't exist, the rest of the colors will still be beautiful. There's one color I don't have that it's on my to buy eventually list, but it's their Azo Yellow, like whatever they call Azo Yellow at Daniel Smith. I don't have it. So, wow. Oh, yeah. This is one of those that Otto sent me. It is so pretty. How could I go so long in my life without Queen Purple? Especially as a person who really enjoys purple. Bonjour, ça va bien? Yeah, you wrote that right. Ça va. We make fun of that saying by literally translating it to "it goes." Like when you speak to someone, like one of your friends, hey, it goes. I don't know if you say that in English, but I find it funny. Oh, Otto, I'm so happy with the quins you sent me. Like, Queen Purple is amazing. And then, Queen Fuchsia. Pretty colors. Why didn't I get Queen Purple before? Why? It's so lovely. Est-ce que vous avez Cobalt Violet Deep? I don't have Cobalt Violet Deep. I have 3 Cobalt colors, I think. It's just that it's kind of an expensive series, so I find it a bit more difficult to indulge in the Cobalt colors. Oh, Victoria, how do you like get angry and then you're busy so you don't act on it and then you forget about it, or do you just not get angry? Okay, next one is Queen Rose. Pretty Queen Rose. Paulo, that sounds like a good traditional like fun good meal. Not that I don't personally, I don't like wine much, don't like alcohol much, but I know that it's something a lot of people enjoy. Alors, my grammar is très awful. That's funny. What pigment is Queen Purple? Is it PV55? Is it? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, make sure you don't eat anything with dairy in it, because that's usually something that upsets tummies that are sensitive. That's the only thing I remember, like, is that if your tummy is sensitive, you don't put dairy in there. Okay, Queen Magenta. Oh yeah, it is PV55. Cool. Congrats on losing 100 pounds last year, Anthony. That's pretty epic. That's almost a whole person, depending on the person. Yeah, and if you're lactose intolerant, definitely don't put dairy in there. Ugh. Yes, Queen Purple is perfect for a painting of grapes. Or, as you say it, Queen Purple est parfait pour une peinture de raisin. Raisins. Raisins are grape. Like, raisin is grapes. And for raisins, we say, like, dried grapes. Okay, continuing with Queen Coral. Really like Queen Coral. It's such a pretty color. It's it's a bit more orangey. I really like it. I really like it. Yeah, des raisins secs. Also known as the most disgusting thing in the world. Ugh. Good grief, raisins. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is coral-like. Good point, Mickey. You know when the answer is in the question. I like dates. I like most dried fruits, but not raisins. I think I ate too much of them when I was a kid without having a say in it, and now it's just like, ugh. Get these wannabe chocolate chips out of my life. And I heard that people make pies out of raisins, and I'm like, how much do you hate life if you make a pie out of raisins? What is wrong with you? Just kidding. But you know what I mean. Like, dates are good. Raisins are just something that you left at the bottom of the fruit drawer in the fridge for too long. Ugh. Yeah, raisins are deceptive chocolate chips. Like, they will be fine in certain things, like if you have raisin and cinnamon bread and it's toasted and warm. Like, the raisins are less offensive in there, but I really don't like when they are cold because you got the bread texture and that you get the cool, gooey, weird thing. That's just absolutely unnecessary, especially if you can put jam on your toast instead of anything else. Ugh. Ugh. The currants are even worse. And yeah, just nope. Nope. Pineapple raisin pie, but okay, fine, pineapple. Why do you put raisins in there? It's great to see that someone else is like as adamant as I can be against raisins. Like, Mr. E doesn't really mind raisins. Like, he will eat muesli and granola with it in them, and I will painstakingly remove every dried raisin or currant from the stuff I eat. Because nope. Well, no, I never had pies, but I'm okay with pineapple on pizza. Does that count? But I mean, you can make a pie out of apples and it's gonna be better than... I don't think I've ever had cooked pineapple. Oh, true currants are illegal in the US. Why? And welcome back, Otto. Okay, so we are moving on to some greens with green gold, which is not actually green gold, and rich green gold, which is actually green gold, because Daniel Smith decided they would switch these around and confuse everyone else. Oh yeah, like I really like pineapple on pizza. I know it's a big controversy topic. And oh yeah, well, I've had cooked pineapple on that, I guess, but it's always just a few like pieces of pineapple. You don't put a great big cover of pineapple on a pizza. The green gold is multiple pigment, if I remember correctly, and the rich green gold is the one with the single pigment. Like, they really should have switched these around in names, if only so that they don't confuse everyone. Because if you think you're getting this color by buying this one, there's a good difference between them. It's not like, I wouldn't be a happy customer if I bought these. If I bought this hoping I would get this. Oh, the currents were a vector for disease, huh? Well, I don't really mind. They can keep the currents. No, no pineapple on pizza. Well, I like it. So bite me. Pizza aux ananas, c'est une abomination. No, it's not. It's tasty. Especially if you get fresh pineapple instead of the canned stuff. Yeah, it is a pretty color, but it's just confusing because they're not the same and they're different enough that you could end up with two tubes when you wanted to buy just one. Okay, so the next one is Viridian. Oh yay, Oro, awesome, I5. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That re-wet better than I thought it would. There's I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fake stuff products like fake cheese, fake meat, and all that, but here in Canada, and I know that in some places in the US, there is a fake cheese brand that is named Daya. And they have this block of fake cheese that is jalapeno flavored. And it's really tasty on a pizza with pineapple and a few slices of ham. Because yes, I will still eat meat every once in a while. Still gives me a stomachache most of the time, but yeah, on a pizza, it's worth it. So pizza without pineapple is an abomination, yeah. I don't have it always, but every once in a while I get the craving for the sweet, salty, spicy mix of a pineapple pizza. Yeah, Daya is great. I really like Daya. The blocks are my favorite thing they offer. The cream cheese are pretty decent. I don't buy the shredded cheese anymore because I've bought too many packages that were moldy in the middle. And at like $7 a bag, you kind of want cheese that is not moldy, and I can buy a block and shred it myself. But yeah, the cheddar, the smoked Gouda, jalapeno, they're great blocks. Yeah, it is weird. You gotta dose the Daya properly because it is not cheese. It's not made, it is soy-free, so it's made with coconut oil and perhaps pea protein and all kinds of weird stuff that are all like, you can tell what it is as an ingredient. You just never would have thought that they would all go together. Yeah. Pineapple, Daya, field roast sausage, and garlic. That's sap green, and that was terre verte, and that was Viridian. So this one is sap green. Daya is oil and tapioca. There you go. Oh, I like it so much. Like, you don't have, you better not use it too thickly because it's not cheese. It doesn't have the exact texture of cheese, so it doesn't do the thing that cheeses does. But you can put like a bit of it on a pizza and it's gonna be quite satisfying. And the blocks are great because you can cut them cold and have it in a sandwich. And like, if it's not heated up, it's gonna taste just like a block of cheese in a sandwich. It's really, really similar in texture. So like even Mr. E, who doesn't have any food issues, every once in a while when he doesn't want to eat too many cheese or too much animal products, he will just get a block of Daya for himself and put it in his sandwiches, and it's the same. It's salty, it's fatty, it tastes of something. It doesn't really melt. It gets softer, but it doesn't really melt. And it's nutritionally worthless. Well, it has fat in it. You need fat. So I guess it's a tiny bit nutritionally worth fat. But yeah. That was Sap Green Deep. It's really one of those things that if you can eat cheese without any issue, well, go ahead. It's great. Cheese is cheese, but whenever you have food allergies or dietary restrictions, I think that the alternatives, like, they become more appealing in a way, because you're like, well, it's not the same, it's different, but I can get used to this different and like make some meals. Like I can make lasagna now that is not just pasta and sauce. Yay, Oro, awesome. Okay, so that's Prussian blue, to no one's surprise. Then I have Prussian green. Yeah, I like to put the Daya on top of the pizza and really let it cook for a long time so that it gets the gloopy state, because I like the gloopy state of Daya. But yeah, like I've had it in a grilled cheese and it's okay. It's, you know, if you expect something that is 100% cheese, you're gonna be disappointed. But if you expect something that has like soft texture and brings in like a fatty taste and salt, and yeah, that's okay. I like it. I just like it. Well, Anthony, you're a chef. I don't expect you to like fake cheese. But that's okay, as long as you don't prevent anybody who likes it to get it. And I'm finishing it on French ultramarine blue. Yay. Woohoo. It's not so bad, but yeah. Why? Why do you have the tinting strength of something that doesn't have any? Okay, so that's the first tray. I'm just gonna leave it there on camera while I prepare to print a new sheet, because I messed up my other sheet. If you're curious, this is the paper I used. It's Fabriano paper, 200 GSM. Can you see the paper? Yeah, branded with the local brand, the local chain, but yeah, still good. And you have some nut cheeses, and they're all sorts of fake cheeses that are not really cheese. Did you guys see the lady who got really upset that there were fake cheese? And like, she got really upset and she ranted on Twitter something like, why do you call this cheese? This is not cheese. This is fake cheese. Don't call this cheese. Blah blah blah. Call it Gary instead. And a lot of brands like Daya, who make fake cheese, sort of took her to the point, and they made jokes about it. Like, they would have, like, Daya made a spoof of their margarita pizza. They wrote Margary the pizza with Gary, and all kinds of weird silly stuff like that. And I thought that was funny. So here we call fake cheese Gary. Hey, did you buy a block of Gary? Yeah, sure. Cat! Hi, Cat! Oh, awesome, Val. We'll have to check it out. Cool. Yeah, there are 2 Costco's in Montreal. Why do you ask? Oh, Stephen, that's so funny. He has the JPEG with the bag of Daya with Gary overwritten. That's so funny. It's just, I think, I see what you mean, Paulo. Like, Paulo says that what bothers him is calling something cheese creates an expectation that is never met. And I agree. And I think if you look on the packaging, it says something like it is a cheese substitute or not. But I think it's just like between ourselves when we are talking about stuff, like when I speak to Mr. E, we just call it cheese because it's easier to say. And he knows I mean fake cheese if it's for me, and I know that he means real cheese if it's for him. So it's just that it's easier because it refers to a thing that basically has the same role as real cheese when we cook, but it's not real cheese. I get that. And I know I don't eat it in the mindset that it is cheese, but it's, yeah, cheddar style. That's it. That's like something style. And it's just that since it has the same role as real cheese, that's why we use cheese for everything. But yeah. So I got my sheet of paper. I'm just gonna print it and cut it. Sorry, baby. Oh, does Costco has fake cheeses as well? Okay, so I will eventually trim this one to match the size of the other one, but for now I'm just gonna cheese food. It does sound like something you feed the cheese. Oh, I just fed my cheese some cheese food. That is so funny. Okay, so second tray. How did I go with the first one? Oh, bye Rhiannon. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the butt has stripes, and they are like metallic stripes. It's even better. I'm quite appreciative of the vegan ice cream. They're decent, and I'm also fortunate that there's a place nearby that makes its own gelato and sorbet, and they have the most amazing maple sorbet in the spring. It is pretty good. Yeah, maple sorbet. It's amazing. It's just as good as it sounds. Gosh, I already miss it. Oh yeah, it's amazing. It is beyond words. It is so good. Like every year I try to get it a big, it's not really big, it's a 500 milliliters, but there's always a moment when I get one for myself, just for me, and then I eat it. Yep. Yep. But it is really good. I also get one to share, but I get one just for me because I can. Otto got me sold to the what is it? It's a Ninja NutriBullet, because I had a blender before, but it wasn't really speedy one, so it would leave a lot of chunks into stuff, and chunks are not great, especially if you're using a straw. So yeah, it was a bit of a kind of a big purchase, but it's absolutely worth it because it's gonna be awesome this summer. Like, you just put fruits and water and you blend it, and you can basically have some really tasty frozen fruits. Oh, hi, Carria. Yes, I could freeze fruits when they're in season. The thing is that I'm in I'm in Canada, so fruit season is kind of weird. And also, I really like mango in my fruit smoothies, and Canada doesn't really grow mangoes. But I will get, we have at the grocery stores, we have frozen local blueberries all year long. So that's the thing that I will get, because they're the small, super tasty blueberries. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking so intensely that the camera is wiggling. I'm really sorry about that. I will try to be more I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of an issue because I tend to grasp really hard and I hurt my hand over some time, so. What kind of fruits do you get grown in Canada? We get all the berries like strawberry, raspberry, blueberries. We grow cranberries. I think Canada is really big on cranberries. We have apples in the fall. In Ontario, you can get pears and peaches. What else? Cantaloupes. Like watermelons as well. In the summer they will grow. I don't know if it's the same for all melons. If so, then all melons, like honeydew. Mango, pineapple, strawberry smoothie. Sounds delicious. Canadian fruit comes pre-frozen from the tree or brush. Or bush. What am I can't read. Oh wow, Valerie, that's pretty intense. A person telling Valerie that they are blind but want to try burning. Eep. Yeah, we have ice wine and ice cider over here. They let the fruits freeze on the trees before they harvest them for wine or cider. Oh, so grapes as well. That's awesome. Do we have cherries? Oh, we have plums. That's true. Oh yeah, my grandfather had plum trees on his yard. Yeah, it's really a good selection, but it's only there in the summer. Like you get them from what, June to maybe apples will go until what, September? Time to switch to fountain pens with a soft nib. Yeah, it's just not practical all the time. Like if you want to write small, you just need to try and be more smooth. But yeah. Yeah, things with long growing seasons like orange trees are not grown here. Yeah, that's true. I think some people are able to get some kiwis. The kiwi fruit, which I think is pretty amazing. Ice wine is the shit. Carrier, language. Oh yeah, we have cherries, right? But it is a berry, so yeah. We're good with berries. I think we get all the weird berries as well, like the mulberries and the weird kind of, you know, the cherries that come in the paper shell kind of. Like, I don't remember the name. That's so cool, Paulo. Dan's been in the bath an awfully long time. Dan, are you okay? I am personally not a bath person. I ain't got time for that. Shower all the way. Bath. Besides, my bath is often full of paint at the bottom. So, yep. So, what is it? It's phthalo blue, green shade, right? Right? Come on, brain. Work. Yeah, okay, cool. No, that's not what I want to say. Phthalo blue, red shade. Come on. Come on, brain. You're almost done. You can do this. And there we go. That's done. Time to swatch. So how did I do this? Oh, Val. Hey, welcome back, Denise. I'm trying to think, Val, about Val and the fact that someone blind asked to do burning. If they are not completely blind, like you said, then that could be something. But yeah. They could do sculpting with perhaps clay. I know it's not wood, but clay is perhaps more forgiving and a good tactile activity for someone who cannot see. Oh, I know how to summon Dan. My tea is cold. My tea is really cold. I am drinking cold tea. Denise. That's so funny. It is the Pickwick cinnamon tea. I don't know how you can drink hibiscus tea, Denise. I saw it and I was like, but it's so bitter. Like, or do you not get? Do perhaps you're one of the few people who do not really taste all the bitterness in hibiscus tea, perhaps? Oh, the Pickwick cinnamon tea is delicious. I like it a lot. I like cinnamon. Okay. No bloodbath. I don't know, I've always found that hibiscus overpowers everything. Oh, really? Oh, wow, Denise, you're so lucky if you don't taste the bitterness of hibiscus tea. Whoa, that's so cool. That's something I find really fascinating with, like, food, is that, I don't know when they discovered that, but they realized that not everyone has the same genes when it comes to tastes. Like, some people, hold on, where is my phone? Some people will, like, the same happens with bell peppers, I think. Like, some people will really taste the bitterness of bell peppers, and others don't. They just taste the sweetness. So that would explain why some people really like some things and others really dislike them. And for me, it's tomato. I cannot eat tomato if it's raw. There's something in the taste that just doesn't goes past. It just blocks. I cannot eat tomato raw, but if it's cooked, I'm fine. And I think it's the same with hibiscus. Like, some people, they really taste the bitterness in hibiscus and others don't. So that's pretty amazing, I find, because it's not only taste, it's genetics also. And I think that's awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at a cute doggy. Cute doggy, cute doggy. Yeah, you can always add some sugar to hibiscus tea to sort of help fight the bitterness, but yeah, there's this thing that people just don't taste the bitterness. So when I saw you, Denise, drink a whole cup of like deep red, like rose madder brush that I rinse in my cup red, I was like, oh, okay, there's no way she tastes the bitterness in hibiscus tea. That just can't be, because this thing is so intense. It's so red. So I'm glad to see that you indeed don't really have this thing. Oh, can you, no phone, you don't want to? Oh, she's so cute. It's a really cute picture. I don't know if that shows because I've hidden the screen. Yeah, cilantro is one of those things. Like, it's just interesting because, you know, you feel like people are like, oh, I try it. Well, there could be something in a person that will make it so that they cannot appreciate the taste of something. So I think that's interesting. Oh, wow, the stronger the better. Whoa. Well, if I ever get more hibiscus tea, I know who to send it with. I will send you all my tea with hibiscus in it, because I'm like, ah. And it's weird because like all the fruit teas that you can buy, like Celestial Seasoning and all that, they always have hibiscus in them, like a peach tree with hibiscus, and I'm like, ugh. So glad to see that some people may be actually excited to see the hibiscus in there. I have an opinion because my tongue makes me have an opinion. Yeah, that's true. Cilantro. People are like, it tastes like soap, and others are like, it just tastes like cilantro. That's a funny one. Oh, it was. Oh, that's a huge bag of dried hibiscus, indeed. Wow, you're good for a long while. Good thing you like it. So these are the phthalo colors that I'm currently swatching. The audio thing that sounds differently is based on the fact that if you can perceive or not a certain wavelength of sound. And like some people who have perhaps a impaired hearing will perceive this differently. But I think with tastes and the fact that some of them are linked to genetics, it's intense. Like there might not be a way to bring someone to like certain tastes if their genes are not in favor of it. they will forever don't like it. Lemon teas are bad. I don't like warm lemon juice. Oh no, Otto. Aww. Warm lemon juice is kind of weird. If it tastes like dish soap. And broccoli's in the broccoli? Broccoli? Delicious broccoli? Sorry. Broccoli. Though I think I prefer broccoli. Lemon and tea, it really depends. Like if it's lemon and ginger, that I'm good with. Yuzu lemon is usually better as well. But just like a slice of lemon in hot water, no. Just cold water, yes. Warm water, nah, not so much. But that's really just a preference thing. Drink coffee, it's so bitter. There's a lot of coffee that depends on the type of bean as well. It's like chocolate. Some chocolates are super fruity and acidic, and some chocolates are more earthy and nutty in taste. It just depends on the type of tree and how the bean, where the bean is grown, I guess. And perhaps the roasting or something in the process, but yeah. Okay, I don't like coffee that is acidic or fruity, but I really like the earthy dark coffee. I find it better. Plain hot water is never pleasant. No, it's disgusting. I don't know why, but it's just it's the opposite of fun. What are the links you're posting, Otto? Just I missed what they were about. It is about why some people taste coriander. Ah, that's so cool. That's interesting. I think coffee will always be bitter a bit, but you can have varying degrees of bitterness. Some coffees are definitely more bitter than others, like naturally. And it really depends on the brew you get. Like they have some light brews that I think are perhaps less bitter than others. The smell of coffee is amazing. It's such a pleasant smell. The smell of cold coffee at the bottom of a mug is gross, though. Yuck, yuck. So this line of color, there's a bit of a logic to it. It's all the phthalo colors here. And then I have the 3 cobalt colors I have. And then I have the three random ones that didn't fit anywhere. Oh wow, Stephen. No coffee since the last millennium. Old man, Stephen. Millennium old person. No, I understand what you mean. Hey, welcome back, Dan. I love the Starbucks Pike Place coffee. It's a good one, but usually now I just buy some dark decaf. Oh, wow. Oh, Denise, that's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, and I have a couple of blues on this one as well. What I struggle with generally is how difficult it is to find a lot of greens. I guess that they expect you to mix them. But yeah, I find myself sourcing greens a bit everywhere. Like I have the PG8 on one spot, and because there's just like this one is kind of a deep dark green, but like when I'm doing illustration, I really like those forest greens, and there aren't that many. So yeah, blues are not an issue for me. And like reds and yellows are easy. Earth tones are super easy. But I find that greens and blues are a bit more difficult. A lot of the teals and greens, but not proper blues. Oh. Well, there are not that many blue animals, mind you. Earth tones. Okay, are you guys ready? Carbazole violet. Such a pretty color. Just want to see it next to the Quinn purple. So yeah, it's a nice gradation, like this purple and then this one that's even more blue and even more purpley, or violety I should say. Okay, question for you guys. Purple and violet. Do you perceive like purple is the redder one and violet is the bluish one? What's your perception of these two words, purple and violet? PV23 is consistently awesome. Daniel Smith, I think on handprint you can see that Daniel Smith's Carbazole Violet is the least fugitive of them. So yeah, they're all fairly similar in hue though. Oh, so violet is a spectral color and purple is just a red and blue mix. Oh, interesting. Blue, violet, purple, magenta, red. Interesting. Purple, bluish, violet, reddish. Purple to me is warmer and violet is cooler in tone. The two are very fluctuating for me. I think about violet in terms of spectral colors and purples for mixing. But I guess if I had to say, I'd say that I think of purple as redder. Huh, interesting. Was really curious about that because it's just, I see these words used a bit like here and there for colors and I'm like, is there a logic to this? And if there is no actual logic, is there a perceived logic to all of this? True purple isn't in the rainbow song. What? What? Blasphemy. This is Lavender by Daniel Smith. And then we have Wisteria also. Well, all of these are by Daniel Smith, but it's kind of funny that they introduced these two colors recently and they're basically just pigments they already had but mixed with white. So I'm not entirely sure why they decided to add them in. You can find these in like Holbein and Japanese brands of paint, but not so much in like Winsor & Newton or others. So I'm a bit curious. And then super excited because Otto has sent me like the main colors so I can see them all in action. I only had like orange and the blues, but I was super curious about the other colors they have because they're pretty. They're all look at this yellow. It's so nice and transparent. violet is in the rainbow song, but purple isn't. Huh. Temple is saying that they can't wait to see all those million colors. They keep saying they don't need any more watercolors, but. Oh, I understand what you mean. Ah, this is lovely. It's such a nice red. I find it a bit funny that they don't have a Mayan green. I bought some Mayan green pigment, so I'm just gonna make my own Mayan green, I guess, but yeah, Daniel Smith doesn't offer a green spin. I mixed spin and green, but they don't offer a green spin to this color family. See, they call this one Mayan Violet, but it's definitely closer in color to like these. And you have like the purple is this one, the violet is this one, but here Carpuscle Violet is this one, and Mayan Violet is this one. So I'm like, what in Permanent Violet is this one? Like, what's the logic here? And I don't think there is one. Oh wow, Grace, that's so cool. So Grace is growing strawberries, tomato, green bean, pea, squash, cucumber, asparagus, kale, oregano, rosemary, basil, parsley, dill, thyme, and mint. Yummy! You could put all of these together in a bowl and it would taste so delicious. Oh, bye Val! Enjoy your nap. And thanks so much for being there. What's the pale blue, lilac, and gold on that row? Is this one the pale blue? This one is lavender, wisteria, and that's Mayan yellow. Don't forget that my camera is a bit not super color accurate. So there is probably a kind of a color shift. Did I mention before that I had planted a couple of onions and garlic, like just randomly with the flower bed? Because I had these that's Mayan Blue Deep. It's such a pretty color. I had these growing in my fridge, and instead of just throwing them away, I decided that I would use the space in the flower bed outside. That is not my flower bed technically, but there is unused space in there, and no one usually takes care of the flower bed anyway. So I was like, well, these plants want to grow, so I'm just gonna put them in the soil and see what happens. And they're growing, they're quite big. So I'm gonna have to check when I'm supposed to pick them up, but I might have like really locally. Oh, that's true. That's just fresh, really locally grown garlic and a couple of onions, which I think is quite funny. Yeah, my French. When I get tired, my French comes out. Gotta be careful. I have some super fresh pans in there. So that's after the main colors. We have anthraquinone red, Indian yellow, and the next one is going to be indigo. Yeah, Mayan Blue Deep is amazing. Such a pretty color. Okay, so now it's a bunch of earth tones. Starting with raw sienna light. And then just raw sienna. I sorted them by name, so there's a chance that this is a yellow pigment and this one is a brown pigment, and like they will probably change like that, but I think it's easier to find the color if they're sorted by name. Like if I know I am looking for a cobalt, well, I can spot like this, the cobalt on my palette, and I know which one it is I want. So that's why I decided to try this. Like if I put all the yellows together and I'm looking for one, I have to check the chart. Well, if I remember that all the Hansa are these pans, well, I know that the first one is going to be light, the second one is going to be medium, and the last one is going to be deep. That's Monte Amiata Natural Sienna. Oh, that was Scout. Hello, baby. Oh, that weird ochre color I found at the store that I asked you about. I don't remember what it was called, but it was a very unusual name. I'm not sure it's on this chart. I'm trying to remember what it was. What was it? Was it one of the Primatech colors? Or was it the goethite one? I think it was the goethite one, like the brown ochre. It was a Primatech, so I don't know, which one was it then? I can check my Primatechs after. Because goethite is apparently not a Primatech color, according to Daniel Smith. They decided that this one paint would have a name like all the other Primatechs, but would not be a Primatech. Ooh, I think I prefer regular burnt sienna as opposed to Italian burnt sienna. No, I know that one from Jane B. Trying to remember. So hard to wet. That's why I don't like Italian burnt sienna. It's all washed out. I want more color delivery. Give me the color. Come on. Ah, Java Pie. Oh. I have it in the Primatech tin. I can swatch it after these, if you like. Java Pie, bless you. Yep. So that's yellow ochre. This one is dirty. That's French ochre. Come on, you can do it. Oof, yeah, that's... I wonder if my pan is still dirty, but... Yep. I think my appreciation of color is based on how well they wet. Because in terms of hue, I really don't have any preference. But I get really annoyed at paints that don't re-wet well. Okay, so that was sienna colors, all the way to Italian burnt sienna. Then I have 3 ochres, and then I have 2 umbers, and then I have mummy bauxite. This one is the beautiful Raw Umber Violet. And then it is Burnt Umber. I see dead people. What? Mummy Bauxite is really close to a Caput Mortuum color from Daniel Smith. It doesn't re-wet as well, but it is definitely a nice color. Okay, and the very last row. The first color is Graphite Gray. This is a very opaque color, but it's a really nice gray. Then there is Payne's Blue Gray. And I have Payne's Gray right next to it. Mummy Brown. Question, wouldn't you rather paint fresh from the tubes then? Well, it depends on the color. But the thing is that it's kind of handy to have all of these accessible so easily. And if I want to paint from the tube, I can just fish out these tubes and put them on a palette for a piece. But having them in pans is quite handy. It's not my favorite way to work, but gotta make do. Oh, Carrie. Oh, I'm so sorry. You need a DVD player for the... Yeah, they should give you a code to download it or something. No one has DVD players anymore. Okay, and then it's the Perylene family. Starting with Perylene Maroon. That's a really pretty color, but I'm just pondering why they call this maroon. Because to me maroon is kind of brown, and this is definitely red, not brown. So it's always a bit confusing when there are stuff like that, because then you speak with someone and it's like, oh, that's a really nice pair of shoes, I love the maroon color, and you're like, well, these are brown. So, I know, they're maroon, and you're like, what? No, you mean chestnut. No, I mean maroon. You're like, what? No, brown, maroon, chestnut. It's just weird. It's like purple and violet. This is beautiful. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was 2002. Maroon is a deep reddish brown in American English. I think that in France, they have a name that's very similar, that's marron. And it's usually a brown color. I think it might not be as red as the Americans call it, so that's just super confusing. Because you speak to like a French person and they will say maroon instead of brown. My Perylene my Perylene red is one of those that I filled recently that is not dry at all, so that's why it is super intense. Perlin Violet. Again with the purples and violets. Oh, it's so pretty. Yep. Okay, almost done. And then the last three colors are Transparent Red Oxide, Naphthamine Maroon, and Buff Titanium. My water is getting really in need of a change, but I'm almost done, so yeah. I will also take a moment to swatch the lunar color if nobody minds, because I would like to have some sort of reference of these as well. Do you really want me to swatch all the colors I have in my collection? That's kind of a big commitment. I'm not sure I want to do that right now. But I was thinking about making videos about my various palettes. So that's kind of the same, right? Like I could make a video on this Daniel Smith palette and one of my Sennelier palette, and I think I have a Schmincke one as well. The thing is that like every collection, it's always growing. You're never really done like either removing colors or adding colors. So that's the second tray, and this was the first one. And the curry won't fit together at on the same screen, but yeah. So just to recap, because I know some people may have missed this one, but here I have two random yellows that are nickel, tight knit yellow, and lemon yellow. Hansa colors, random colors, Pyrrole colors, sorry, opera, permanent colors, just have the word permanent in the name. Then some random reds, random yellow. The quinacridone start here and ends here. Then there are the green gold colors, a couple of random things, sap greens, Prussians, ultramarine. And on this one there is all the phthalo all the way to here, a couple of cobalts, a couple of randoms, more all the Mayan colors, more randoms, sienna, ochre, umber, and money bauxite, the Payne's gray, the perlines, and a bunch of randoms. So that's it for these. I will do the lunar colors and then I will swatch the Yavapai, if you don't mind. I can dig it out so I don't forget, but just need to find which one is it. It is. Let's go with that. Ouch. think it's this one, but the text is all erased. Well, not erased, but there is paint over it, so I cannot see. Yep, that's the Yavapai one. Show the tin. Which tin? Oh, sorry about that. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. So, how was my suspense? Yes, tomorrow there should be a Saturday. So this is just a bunch of brushes that I got. That's this one. Yeah, the brushes are so pretty and clean and new. I got a bunch of Snap Princeton brushes in the white Taclon because I really like these. And I wanted a few inexpensive ones to try a bunch of things. Also, to keep with the Princeton idea, I wanted a larger one like this from the Neptune range, larger daggers as well, because I've been playing with my small dagger and I really like it. It's amazing. So there's those, then a bunch of small things, and a fan brush. Ooh, it's so soft, because I don't have any fan brushes. And some small ones for inking, and a big flat one because flat brushes are great, and a bundle of various sizes and shapes. Unfortunately, whoops, as far as I can tell, Ultimo doesn't offer daggers yet. I would be all over this shit if they did. Do they stain easily? Yes, of course. Do I mind? Not really. I am absolutely not bothered by stuff staining. So this is my old Snap size 12 that I paint Galaxy with. And it is light blue and purple. and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. I said the big word. Yep, I did. Lunar black. How do you use the daggers? I can show it. I'm gonna try to finish a couple of swatches, but I will see about showing the daggers after. To stab people. So Netflix has the latest season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine finally available here. And Rosa is so amazing with her huge daggers and blades. I'm always like, whoa, what's going on? No spoilers, please. No spoilers, because I just started it, but yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a great show. I think Ultimo probably comes in dagger shape. I just don't know where to buy them. They are amazing. And I mean, the Neptunes are also fixed squirrels, which is why I like them so much. And I really like the these, because the handle is pretty. So yep. Lunar Earth, why are you so lovely? Oh, it's beautiful. And then Lunar Red Rock. So wet paint has the daggers, huh? I don't order too often from wet paint because the shipping fees are absolutely non-negligible. Like it's almost $20 in Canadian currency. So yeah, while actually like Curry's in Ontario has the Princeton daggers. So I feel okay about ordering these from them because they are local, so I don't have to pay insane shipping. Well, the fact that it's insane, it's not on the wet paint's fault, it's how the posts. Color in the middle, that's Lunar Blue. So Lunar Black, Lunar Violet, Lunar Blue, Lunar Earth, and Lunar Red Rock. Lunar Black, Lunar Earth, and Lunar Red Rock are single pigments, but Lunar Violet and Lunar Blue are Lunar Black with PV19 and PB15. Okay, so this is Yavapai. Yavapai. It's not the best paper, mind you, this is just cellulose paper. Hello, the chat jumped. A good wall of brushes at Curry's in Waterloo. Oh, I wish I could see that, Stephen. I really wish I could. Like, I've been to Curry's myself in person once. It was the one in downtown Toronto, because I was there for the convention. But yeah. Lunar Earth to be super opaque. It is relatively opaque, but I think that for me the goal of this paint is to really add water in it so that it will granulate nicely. Like, this is not the best paper for this. This is, like I said, cheap cellulose paper, but still shows what the color is about. Okay, so these, I'm gonna go back in the box. Ah, that's so weird. Okay, Yavapai, go back with your buddies in the tin. Okay, so, is it... Let's see. The Yavapai color is not really like any of my other colors. It's a bit more greenish for an earth tone. Like it feels similar to these colors here, but less red. So yeah. Okay, daggers. Huge pile. No, slippery pile. Don't. Crap. Okay. I have to grab the big pile of abstract painting that has been piling in the corner of the room, because I did a few with the dagger brush. Yep, okay. Okay, so this was done with the dagger brush. Just a lot of layers, but still, dagger brush. And this one too. And this one. And this one. This one shows better the kind of lines you can get with the dagger brush. And I did this one as well. So I will grab my... Not the new ones, because I need to clean them up, but I will grab the other one I have. And some random leftover paint there. So the dagger is basically like shaped like this. My water is so gross. I am sorry. So you can use it to create super thin lines. Painting just decided to throw itself on the ground. And more. Okay. Move this out of the way. Like, it's great that I all wrap them up, but now they're super slippery. Okay, so super thin line, and you can use it along the full edge of the dagger like this, but you can also use it on the side, which is super fun. And then you can make some really not weird color, but then you can also like do variations. You can use it like this, and it just creates like really great lines that flow super well, and they're just so much fun to paint. And you can do a lot of variation in a single stroke, and just depending on how you grab it. Yeah, it smooshes down super nicely. I'm running out of weird color to use up. Like, you can really smush it, and like when it's dry a bit, you can really get some super nice dry brush texture using like the angle of it, and it's just super fun. Like, I had it like, this is not super textured paper, but you can really like create weird, fun, super expressive lines. Expressive is the word I was looking for. But you can also have some super precise line with the tip, because the tip is really super sharp. Like this is super thin, and then you can go and have a super thick line. Oh no, Otto! No, I'm sorry! Your poor wallet! Oh no! Yeah, this is why I have a cup. This is the Princeton Neptune dagger in 1/4. I have a really weird one by Holbein. I'm gonna have to wash this brush after because this is not clean water. But it's like, well, fine. I'm gonna have to wash them both. It's like a dagger a bit, but it's super long, and I haven't really figured out how to use this one yet. It's a SML Holbein Black, but it's really like floppy and weird, but it's also super expressive and fun. I just like you have zero control with this one. So I need to figure out how to use it, but that's why I've been enjoying doing on the abstracts. I can show you the pile of abstracts if you guys feel like seeing it. If not, that's okay, no issues. Yeah, so this is why I am really enjoying doing this, because I have a couple of brushes that I don't really know how to use. So by doing these kind of just having no plan but just color in a brush, it's really interesting. You can find a lot of stuff. So yeah, this is the 1/4 dagger, and I got the other two, the 3/8 and the 1/2. But these are not used up yet. You can see that they're still proportional, that the hair is not so much longer, still larger but longer. It's really like scaling up. So I'm probably gonna have to do a bunch of paintings with these because I'm not so sure how to use them, and that's also why I got the fan brush. But it is so soft. Such a pretty soft brush. Okay. Okay, so just quickly, you saw all of these with the brush. Like, this was really fun. I think that you can see with the brush how I was able to make these strokes. And the splatter as well was done with the brush. It splatters really well, but it splatters all over the place. To tickle kitties. Aww. So I tried a bunch of these with they're all listed now, but just a flat. Is it just a flat brush? Yes. Which brush was it? Oh yeah, it was the Muttler from Ultimo. This one. So I did a bunch of these that are just like layering colors, but in ways to see how it all worked out, like the transparency and the gradients. And also I had an M. Graham palette to clean up, so I was basically picking up colors from the M. Graham. Okay, I really like how this one turned out, but it's just learning like what happens if I put a really opaque color on top of other colors, and what happens if I use the side of the brush, and again transparency stuff. And this weird one. And then I did a bunch with just I think these are, I made these quite some time ago, but just got to put them under plastic. And more ooh, this one has a duochrome color in it, so it's like shiny. And this one was a mess, and I decided when it doesn't work out, you can always go darker and add some shiny. Well, I have a big pile. Like, they still have all of these, but these are different in the sense that I made them using paper that already had some paints on it. And instead of throwing away the paper, I figured that I would just paint over and use a mat to hide the fact that it's dirty paper. So yeah, I wanted to see if I could reuse this paper and not have it go to waste. And also play with stuff I don't play with often. I think I posted these on Instagram. These 4 with the leafing, gold leafing on it. Then I did these also with like some sheets of paper were my mother's. And she, at some point she decided she wanted to try and learn watercolor, but she didn't carry it through. So she had these sheets of paper with like weird swatches on them and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna let that go to waste. Like on this one, you can see a bit like there are shapes and things that I used. And then I did a couple of tests with weird variegated gold leaf. Just testing a lot of stuff. So yeah, there's like no good or bad answer. There's just a bunch of problems that I'm trying to fix. And I'm enjoying it. So yeah, it's been great. Like I did some with super transparent colors and others with opaque colors. And I think this was the Kramer color I got. Like the cobalt colors from Kramer. And this is Sumi ink with silver in it. And yeah, more weird granulation thing, like bright orange. I thought of Paulo when I did this one. I was like, Paulo is gonna perhaps appreciate the big orange blob on there. Not so much Otto, but can't please everyone. So I have a bunch of these, and yeah. I'm guessing, I'm thinking that at some point I will maybe list them on Etsy, just so that they stop taking up space in here. But I think one of my favorite ones that I did, I'm happy with all of them, mind you, because if I was unhappy with it, I would keep pushing it until I would think it's interesting. But I think I really enjoyed this one. There's something in this one that, I think it's the fact that the colors are super dark and there's this sort of gradient effect that I really enjoy. Some of these are a bit weird because you have like the watermarks from the paper. This is Fabriano paper, it says there. And yeah, it's just, instead of throwing away all this paper and like not knowing what to do with it, just put paint on it. So yeah, it's even like I had a lot of browns on my M-gram palette, so gotta use up with these browns and find ways to use them. I don't have enough space on my wall for all of these. And they keep sliding away. I'm gonna have to go put them in the safe spot so they don't slide away. Stay, don't move. So yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. It's like all this stuff that I don't know what to do, and like my M. Graham palette, I was about to just wash the paint away in the sink, or well, in this case in the bath. So why not just use the paint up in some experiments? Sorry. Oh yeah, both are upside down also. This way. No, they are not laminated. It's just a plastic sleeve. I put yeah, these are actually that's my tip, but it's a secret tip. I buy comic book sleeves to put small paintings in. Because it's like, what, $6 for 100 sleeves? It's kind of a good price. And also the main advantage for me is that there is a comic book shop not too far from here that I can go to buy backing paper and sleeves. And it's not super expensive. So yeah, it's just a plastic bag. So these are my swatches of the Daniel Smith huge palette. It doesn't take into account the few colors that are elsewhere or in other sets, but I don't do these swatch sheets to like have my whole collection on hand. It's really just when I use my palette, I want to use these as reference to know which colors are where. Because sometimes I'm like, I really want to grab burnt sienna, and I'm like, okay, which one? Is it really burnt sienna I want? Oh yeah, where is it? Okay, it's at that spot in the palette. So it's more of a tool than like for reference of all colors. It's my swatch book, but for when I'm painting, it's really useful to have swatches of the palette. So that's about it for me today. I don't know if you have any more questions. I still have to go to the post office to mail out some things. So yeah, any more questions? Have I finished my tea? Nope. Alright, so thanks a lot guys for being there, and hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow maybe for the Saturday. Still not sure what I'm gonna paint tomorrow, but I'll think about it and it's gonna be a surprise. Was the Fabriano the Artistico paper? I don't know. How can you tell? I had the sheet pre-cut and I don't really know what it was. But it was, all the papers were fun to use, so there's that. So thanks everyone for being there and spending a moment this afternoon with me. It's been really awesome. So we will see each other soon, and I hope you have an excellent weekend. Bye bye!